Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is Mr. Birdie here on Friday, on a Friday night, on a rainy Friday night. I figured I would just go ahead and do this video now because the weather is supposed to be kind of iffy this weekend. So I figured maybe some of you, maybe all of you, would like to just get a jump start on the video. So I'm going to go ahead and just record it for you now. If you were watching this, if you could print out the notes and have a pencil. If you don't have notes, just grab a sheet of paper. This is our last solid that we're going to do. It's called pyramids. The pyramid is always going to have a base that is a square or rectangle, and I will show you that in just a second here. You can see from the photo here, this is just some pyramids that have been found probably in Egypt. Pyramids are used, I guess, to bury the pharaohs and or maybe any kings or queens or any royalty. I would guess you probably learned a little bit about that in History 7 last year. Anyway, let's do this. Go ahead and pause the video if you need time to get a graphing or a calculator or a cell phone, a pencil. Your notes that I have attached in Google Classroom is exactly where we're going to be going here. So I'll make this kind of short video if I can. If you can fill this out, but you don't have to. But you'll need to know where all this stuff comes from. So here's a pyramid. Here's the idea. Here's a pyramid. You can see the base right here is a square. As you can see, I'll just kind of color it in a little bit. You can see the base is a square. It's sitting on a table, and that's the base. Well, if you were to unfold it, if you were to actually unfold it, and if we were in class, we would actually do this, it would look like this. So here's your square, here's your base, and all of these triangles would kind of come up and then meet at the very top of the thing. And those are called the lateral faces. The slant height, just like we did with the cone, the slant height is the diagonal height. We'll do another height from top to bottom. That's going to be for volume. You can see there's two heights here, just like for a cone. You've got the height from top to bottom, that's going to be for volume, and you've got the slant height, which is going to be kind of like the diagonal, and that's going to be for surface area. Okay, the formula we're going to use from the state of Virginia, or also from any science book or math book, is going to be this. So the idea behind it is you want to cover, this is surface area, so you want to cover up the entire pyramid. Well, to do that, you've got to cover up the base. So if you can see the pink right here, if you can follow my cursor, the base is actually going to be known as capital B. So B is going to be, notice it's capital B. Capital B, is the area of the base. So basically what we're going to have to do is find the area of the square or the rectangle. So the area of the base is capital B. Okay, and again, we'll always give you the formula. This is probably the hardest formula of all of them, because there's a couple things to remember here. Okay, the P is the perimeter of the base. P is the perimeter of the base. This is the shortcut to finding the surface area. One way you could do it is find the area of the base and then find the area of one of the triangles, and then all the triangles are the same. Perimeter, sorry, P-E-R-I-M-E-T-E-R, sorry about that. Okay, P is the perimeter of the base. I'll just put perimeter base. And as we know, L is the slant height. Two words, slant. And forgive me, I'm trying to write with my mouse. Slant height. And what we're going to do in this video is I'm just going to show you surface area. I'll show you two examples, and then volume, and then show you two examples of that. And then we'll look at one of the multiple choice SOL questions. On Tuesday and Thursday classes, the same idea. We'll kind of go through some of these on a PowerPoint, and then we'll get to a game on Thursday. That's kind of our idea, okay? So Tuesday class is kind of the notes and blah, blah, blah. And then Thursday's class is going to be the Thursday's class is going to be like more of a game and stuff like that. So I just want to present the ideas to you in a video. You can also find any of this on YouTube. You could just type in, go to YouTube, find surface area and volume of a pyramid. You could do that. There's also, by the way, I'm just going to draw a picture for you. There's also something called a triangle pyramid where the base is a triangle. I'm going to draw a horrible picture. Okay, it looks something like this. We do not do triangular pyramids anymore. And you can see, you can imagine this is a 3D shape. There's three different faces here, and the base is a triangle. But we don't do triangle ones. We're only going to do squares and rectangles. And you'll see an example of both of those in the next couple problems here. All right, let me keep moving here. Let's just attack one. Find the surface area of this pyramid right here. So here's your formula. So what we're going to do, the surface area is going to be equal to 1/2. Oh, by the way, real quick, this is a shortcut for finding the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So if you take 4 triangles and each triangle is 1/2 base times height, this is a shortcut to getting the area of all 4 triangles at once. And then of course you got to cover the base, which is a square, and that's capital B. So this is a little tricky. You might want to when I'm done with this problem, you might want to maybe rewind it and check and see how you did. Okay, 1/2. We're going to go 0.5. 0.5. 1/2. Okay, surface area is 1/2. L. Remember, L is the slant height. That's 8. Okay, the good thing about pyramids, the form is a little bit tricky, but it's neither one of them are very long. Surface area and volume, they're all pretty short. P is the perimeter of the base. Now remember, the base is a square, so you want to find the perimeter of the outside of the square. Well, if each side is 5, you're going to take 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So the perimeter of the square is going to be 20. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Now, now we will find capital B. A lot of people will just put 5 here. That's not the base. Capital B is the area of the base. Well, the area of a square is length times width. So 5 times 5 is 25. So here's the idea. 25 will cover the base, and 0.5 times 8 times 20 will cover all 4 of the faces. So, let's do this part first. So on your calculator or cell phone, we're going to go 0.5. So 0.5, it would help if I turned mine on. Sorry, 0.5 times 8 times 20 will give you 80. So that will cover all 4 of the faces. Remember, each one of these is called the face. Okay, this whole triangle is called the face, and there are 4 faces. Okay, and then we'll add the 25 because that is the area of the bottom, the base. So you're going to want to cover that in wrapping paper too, and you can get 105. Now remember, this is still square units, so we're going to go inches squared. And that is the surface area of this pyramid. Okay, fair enough. It's not too bad. And if you're a little confused by that, you might just want to scroll back and or bring your questions to the live class. Hopefully you will have watched this video before the class. Don't just rely on the classes, okay? I think I'm a decent teacher. I think I can do my job pretty well. But if you come and watch the video and practice this ahead of time, it's going to be so much easier for everybody. Okay, here's your formula again, and we'll always give you the formula. It's going to be 1/2, so 0.5, so 0.5 times the slant height, which is 9. Now, here's an example of a rectangular pyramid. Notice these are different dimensions. You have an 8 and a 5. So now the perimeter is going to be all 4 sides. Now remember, if the width is 5, then so is the other width. If this is 8, then so is the dotted line here. You got to imagine this is, see this dotted line? That's the other length of the base. So now 8 plus 5 plus 8 plus 5 is 26. Perimeter of the base. That's where a lot of students mess up. Okay, students don't mess up crunching the numbers. That's easy. Okay, anybody can do that. Students mess up the vocabulary. They forget which is which, and they put the wrong numbers in for these things. Okay, plus capital B is the area of the rectangle. That's just 8 times 5, which is 40. So you want to cover up the base too. If you don't cover up the base, okay, then the whole thing isn't covered up. All right, so now we'll take 0.5. 0.5 times 9 times 26, which is 117. We will add 40 to it. And on the homework, I'm just going to give you just a handful of these problems just to try. I will attach the homework into the Google Classroom and Blackboard. 157 feet squared. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the surface area of this pyramid. Okay, let's look at volume. Let's look at volume, just two quick examples here. The volume of a pyramid is, by the way, it's very similar to a prism. So if I were to draw, I'm gonna totally mess this up, but if I were to draw the same base, see the pink right there in this, and if I were to make this into a prism, okay, and again, I'm gonna mess this up. I am totally going to mess this up. I am usually pretty confident with my math, but not with my art. Anyway, okay. You can imagine, just like the cone, this is 3 of these pyramids will fit inside a prism. That's why we have the 1/3. So otherwise, it would just be length times width times height. But we have a 1/3 of it, just like the difference between a cone and a cylinder, if you remember that from back in the day. Well, that's where the formula comes from. Okay, that's the idea. The H now is not the slant height; it's the height from top to the bottom. So if you find the very middle of the base and you go straight up to the top, it's apex, the highest point. Okay, that is the height. That's H. Don't confuse it with this guy. This is the slant height. See how that's the height of one of the triangles. The height of the entire solid is the H. Okay, B again is the area of the base. Okay, the best way to really get this is just to try it. Let's just try one of these. Here's your pyramid. Okay, we have the height and we have the dimensions of the base. So here we go. The volume is going to be, and this is pretty quick. It's pretty easy, but you have to know what you're doing. Okay, 1/3 again is 0.333. Hang in there just for a couple more problems, and we'll be done. Short video today. 0.333 times capital B. Now you can't just put 2. B is the area of the base. Well, the area of the square is 2 times 2, which is 4. That's the capital B. And then how tall is this guy from top to bottom? Well, that would be 3. So now you're going to just take 0.333 times 4 times 3, and that's going to be something, it's actually supposed to be exactly 4. On a calculator, you might get something 3 point blah, 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 but it's really exactly 4, because 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 centimeters cubed. This is volume. Okay, so pyramid, not much to it. Really isn't. Not much to it. That's the idea. That's the idea. Okay, 1 or 2 more here real quick. Let's try this one. What you might want to do with this one is just pause the video. This is what I tell my algebra students too, and I think I've told you. You might want to pause the video and just try it yourself and then play the video and see if you get it right. So that might be helpful. I'm going to keep moving. But it's up to you. If you want to pause the video and give this a try yourself, I would encourage you to do that. Okay, volume. So how much water does this thing hold? Or how much sand does the pyramid hold? Okay, volume is going to be equal to 1/3, so 0.333. 0.333 times the area of the base. 8 times 5 is 40. And then how tall is this guy? How tall is this guy? This guy is 9 feet tall. So times 9. Okay, you could actually just do it this way. 1/3 of 9 is 3. 3 times 40 is 120. It's going to be something very close to 120. It's actually exactly 120. But if you had something like 119.8 or something like that, that'd be fine. That's because of the 1/3. 0.333 is actually, 1/3 is the exact number. 0.333 is approximate number. So 120 cubic feet. Okay, that's how much sand this pyramid will hold. And I can imagine some of the ones in Egypt, the real ones, are just really, really big and tall and wide and long. And so I imagine that those answers are in the like 10,000, maybe even more. Okay, let me just show you real quick an SOL example. This is on an SOL test about 2 years ago. And again, quite often they will not ask you to find the surface area volume. They're going to phrase it in such a way. Let's look. Raymond needs to cover the surface, okay, of this square-based pyramid with paper. That is surface area, so you'll need to know that. Okay, so how much paper will he need to cover this? That's surface area. So remember what that is. That's 1/2 LP, and we'll always give you the formulas. You don't have to memorize them. Okay, if we were in the classroom on a quiz or the SOL test or final exam, we would give you all the formulas. Okay, I never had time to give you the official formula sheet from the state of Virginia, but that's out there. You could actually print that out online too. All right, here's the idea. Let's just bust this out real quick, and this will be our last one, and then we're done. We're done. We'll call it a day. Okay, so surface area would be 0.5. That's the 1/2. 0.5 times L. L is the slant height, which is 11. And then P is the perimeter of the base. 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 48. The perimeter of the base. Remember, the base is a square. So 48. Okay? Plus the area of the square. Well, that's 12 times 12. So that's 144. You know, the actual math here is really easy. You just have to know which is which to do this. Okay, we might need to use our calculator this time. So 0.5 times 11 times 48. We'll get that piece first is 264. 264. By the way, I would have put that as one of the answer choices here, but they were nice. And then we'll add to it the area of the base, which is 144. Okay, so 264 plus 144 will give you 408. So you would just click on B as your answer. When we get to the classes Tuesday and Thursday, we'll look at a couple more multiple choice questions and maybe some SOL questions so you can get a feel for that. But that's pretty much it for today. Please stay healthy, stay safe. Please turn in some work if you haven't done so. Please get that to me. Please.